And good morning, everyone. It's a real thrill to be here and to see so many people in the audience, and such a mixed audience, not just from the alternative finance sector itself, but also people who are thinking about policy, regulation, people who are writing about these issues, and people who are just generally interested in people in the UK doing something different and delivering something rather better, we think, for consumers. So what I'd like to do is just briefly set the scene and then hand over to the Minister, who I'm really relieved to see has now arrived. So welcome, Minister. You might want to get yourself mic'd up. So let's think about the peer-to-peer finance market and the way in which it's developing and changing. But before I do that, I'll just say a little bit about why I'm here. I'm independent chair of the P2PFA Finance Association. I think peer-to-peer lenders in this country were pretty enlightened and smart to think over a year ago now that they really needed someone independent to come in and help them work together on a really challenging agenda in terms of the regulatory regime, public policy regime for this very, very new type of financial service. And I was very lucky to be asked to do it, and I must say it's a very rewarding and interesting job, and every week something new seems to be cropping up. That's the nature of the market. So let me tell you a little bit about how the market is in the UK. And I'd like to start with this slide, which is derived from work done by the University of Cambridge, Nesta and Berkeley in California last December. And it shows the way in which the market was broken up last year, 2013. And these are the numbers for last year. And you'll see the pink bit at the bottom is actually peer-to-peer lending, and that includes lending to consumers and lending to business customers. The blue bit is called donation-based crowdfunding. You might wonder why that's in this slide at all, but it's currently defined as part of crowdfunding, and it's sites like Just Giving, Virgin Giving and the like, where you might want to sponsor your daughter running a marathon, as I do every now and then. The green segment is invoice trading, which is what I would say is the second biggest financial services type alternative finance segment now. And then you've got equity-based crowdfunding, which is the purple slug. You've got reward-based crowdfunding, which is the pale blue. You've got debt-based, which is the orangey one. And so you'll see the different sizes right now. Now obviously this is a static picture, a couple of months old now, things are changing, but this is the best data we've got. So if you look at just alternative finance, this is the relative market shares. You've got consumer lending, peer-to-peer, business lending, peer-to-peer, invoice trading, and then you've got the equity and debt-based crowdfunding. If you look at the way in which peer-to-peer lending has grown since it started off, it actually doesn't go back to 2005, which is when it first started in the UK. 2010 is when Zopa, a lonely peer-to-peer lender for a few years, was joined by other peer-to-peer lending platforms, so that's where we're starting our data. And you'll see you've got quite a dramatic growth curve here, and if anything looks like an exponential growth curve, I reckon this does. We can't really predict where it's going to be at the end of 2014, but I can tell you that we've now passed the £1 billion mark in terms of cumulative loans made in the UK to consumers and businesses, so that's quite a milestone. These are our members. This may change next month or the month after. We have got quite a lot of interest from other platforms to come into the P2PFA, which is another sign of change and growth. And key points just to leave with you, peer-to-peer lending is a new type of financial services activity. It's not deposits, it's not investments, it's something rather different, and it's a struggle, I think, for everyone to try and get the language right. And as we go through this morning, I'm sure it will all become much clearer to you as you hear more about this sector. It's growing very fast. Loan volumes are doubling every 6 months. We're ahead here in the UK. We were the very first country in the world to have peer-to-peer lending, and we're also the first country in the world to get a bespoke regulatory regime that's going to start kicking in April. And peer-to-peer lending for institutions could become an important new asset class.